Good evening. Welcome to the January 31st meeting of the Lowell License Commission. Secretary Nguyen, was the meeting posted?
Yes.
What number one on the agenda, please?
With respect to acceptance of meeting minutes for the meeting of January 10th, 2019.
Move approval.
Move approved by Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner Donnelly. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next on the agenda.
Proceeding with number one on our meeting agenda, we have applications for special one-day license to sell dispensed malt beverages and wines only, or either one. Scott Pelletier of GNAA LLC, doing business as Fuse Bistro, from the Winterfest 2019 at Arcan Drive in front of JFK Courtyard for Friday, February 22nd, 2019, from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., and Saturday, February 23rd, from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Take them together.
Proceeding
right?
also with Robin Dupel, who's also an applicant, representing Cobblestones for the Winterfest 2019 at Arcan Drive in front of the JFK Courtyard for Friday, February 22nd, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., and Saturday, February 23rd, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Good evening. State your names for the record, please.
Good evening, Scott Pelletier, Fuse Bistro.
Scott, how are you?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Very well. Thank you.
Robin Dupel, Cobblestones Restaurant.
Hi, Robin.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
How are you?
All right, so we have the map in front of us. Were you both going to be located in the vendor area, or?
Be located the same as the last 2 years by the tent on JFK, where the entertainment is.
Okay.
Right on the plaza, right on the end of the tent. So if you're looking at the tent in City Hall in the background, we'll be on the left-hand side.
Got it. Okay.
They'll be on the tent right on our
And on your side, right? Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Everything looks a lot tighter this year, Captain. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, a little smaller. You have any issues with anything with all this? All right, it's great. Fantastic. Questions or comments from the board?
Move approval.
Move for approval by Commissioner McCarthy, seconded by Commissioner Donahue. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Proceeding with number two, we have the application for a special one-day license to sell dispense all alcoholic beverages. Anthony Into for the fundraiser for Mass General Hospital for Saturday, May 18th, 2019, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., to be held at the Onyx Room at 122 Western Ave.
Good evening. State your name for the record.
Hi, I'm Athey Mientu.
How are you tonight?
Good, thanks.
Good. Can you tell us about your event?
Yes, I'm holding a fundraiser for cancer patients at MGH at the Onyx Room.
Okay. Have you held these licenses before yourself?
No, I haven't.
Do you understand your responsibilities with this license?
I do.
You do. You have any questions for this board?
No, I don't.
Questions or comments from the board?
Move approval.
Move approved by Commissioner McCarthy, seconded by Commissioner Krieger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck with your event.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Proceeding with number three, we have the application for special one-day license to dispense wines only. Steve Silverson, the president of the Arts League of Lowell, for events at 307 Market Street. Actually, there's just one event, and that would be an artist reception, Life is Pottery, for Saturday, February 16th, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Good evening. State your name for the record.
Steve Severson,
How are you, Steve?
doing okay.
So you having a cup of coffee the other morning?
Yeah.
Pretty good place over there, huh? I like it.
When we're, is that the
was
Purple
that?
Carrot?
Yeah, that's it, Blue
Yeah,
Carrot. Good
it's a
place.
good place.
Yeah, it
Coffee's
really
great.
is. Tell us what's going on, Steve.
This is a small solo show by
Okay,
one of the artists, one of the member artists in our small gallery, and I forgot to put in the application 2 weeks ago when I was here.
no problem. Any questions or comments from the board? Move for approval by Commissioner Howe, seconded by Commissioner Donahue. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Good luck, Steve.
Thank you.
Commission will now proceed with number 4, the application for a special events permit for amplification of sound. Jonathan Chem of the Clemente and Park Committee for the 8th Annual Khmer New Year celebration, Saturday, April 20th, 2019. A rain date is proposed for Sunday, April 21st, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The event is to be at the Palin Volleyball Complex at Roberto J. Clemente Park at 803 Middlesex Street. Amplification would be for a live band, a traditional Cambodian orchestra, and amplified sound for the PA speakers.
Good evening. State your name for the record.
Jonathan Chim.
How are you, Jonathan?
Good, how are you?
Very good. So this is all from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., right?
Yes.
Okay. Jonathan, you held this license before?
Yes.
How many? This is the second time?
I think second and third time.
Okay. Captain Hodgson, any reservations? Always a good time over there? Very good. We have questions or comments from the board. Move for approval by Commissioner Donahue, seconded by Commissioner Krieger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Jonathan,
Thank you.
good time.
Commission will now proceed on number 5, a public hearing on the allegations that Koala Fuel Inc., Francisco Koala President, used car dealer license for 493 Princeton Boulevard in 2018, is in violation or had been in violation of the Zoning Board of Appeals conditions and License Commission regulations.
Good evening. State your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Francisco Rosa for Koala Fuel Inc. and for Mr. Celso Lopez.
Okay. Secretary Nguyen, kind of update the board on what's going on with the property. And
So presently, what we have at 493 Princeton Boulevard is an unlicensed facility supposedly selling vehicles without a license. Mr. Koala Fuel, Inc., Francesco Koala, had a Class II license
Yep.
that expired on January 1st, 2019, and he did not file an application to renew that license. Mr. Koala had appeared in the License Commission office on Friday morning, the law office, I should say. I spoke with Mr. Koala, and I asked him if he had received notice of hearing. He claimed he had not. So I gave him hard copy of the notice of hearing and accompanied with papers that indicate that there was issue with respect to the zoning board conditions set in year 2009. Mr. Koala had indicated to me that he had no longer had the property or no longer owned the property, and that he was looking to have another person apply for the license. But I said the first thing on the commission's agenda would be to deal with the matter of the complaint registered against Koala Fuel for violations of the zoning board conditions from 2009 and License Commission regulations. He indicated to me, when he indicated to me that he had no longer owned the property, I did check with the Registry of Deeds in Lowell, their website. And it indicates to me that Koala Fuel, the property owner, had sold to LP Real, I believe it's
LP Real Estate LLC.
LP Real Estate LLC. Now, Mr. Koala's property was held by 493 Princeton Boulevard LLC. So a transaction was completed and filed with the Registry of Deeds effective December 31st, 2018. And it appears that LP Real Estate, Inc., the manager is Celso Lopez, has obtained a mortgage for the sale of the, purportedly the sale was $780,000. So Under the circumstances, Koala would have no interest in maintaining a Class II license, and no application has been filed for a new license. Last but not least, I would just want to add that the City of Lowell Treasurer has filed a municipal lien certificate. Supposedly, there are over $4,000 owed to the City of Lowell for unpaid taxes. And last, Christine McCall, Special Planner, Senior Planner, Office of Planning and Development, had done an inspection, a site inspection this past Monday, and from what she indicates that there are several violations of the zoning board's conditions of 2009.
Has the zoning board been made aware of the transaction, and have they taken any appropriate action on their end?
In speaking with Christine McCall, she confirmed what I may have understood from prior other examples, is that when the zoning board grants a special permit, it goes with the property. And so the conditions set by the zoning board would still be applicable today. And assuming if a license is not renewed, or there is no license granted in the next 48 months, that action of the zoning board becomes nullified, and it would revert back to the current zoning, whatever it is permitted or not permitted. And under the circumstances, if a license is not granted in the next 2 years, anyone looking to obtain a license at a later date after the 2-year period would have to return to the zoning board for the special permit.
Okay, so back in 2009, the zoning board, there's a petitioner seeks a special permit to expand the existing non-conforming automotive fuel and repair services to include the sale of used automobiles in accordance with the Lowell zoning ordinance, Article 12, Section 12.6, Tables of Uses, and Sections 4.4.2, non-conforming uses. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, this board is supposed to rule upon, and I'm not even sure if we need to rule upon this, and correct me if I'm wrong, the sale has taken place. It's been recorded in the Register of Deeds. Therefore, Mr. Coelho, he never came in to renew his license. There is no license.
Should be no cars.
So there should be no cars there. All right.
Not for sale, I should say.
For sale at this point, okay? I ask you, does this board have any other jurisdiction other than that?
No, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Coelho has sold his property to a gentleman, and it would be up to that gentleman to come here to apply for a used car license.
And presumably, if he should apply, he would have to show compliance with the zoning board's special
So the zoning
conditions.
right now,
and our
obviously,
regulations.
if the appropriate department at City Hall deems it necessary that there be a question to that, then that should go to the zoning board of appeals. I just want to stay within our quandary here. I mean, stay within our parameters, and that is we gave him a 5-car license. There's no license. So I don't know if anything further from this commission, any further.
No further action at this time.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Does any of the commissioners have any further? Commissioner Donahue?
I do have something to say.
Sure,
I've
go
been
right
by there last Saturday, last Monday, and today.
Yeah.
And there are cars in the used car designated spots. One of them has a sign on it, for sale.
Okay.
So I'd like to have at least, we refer that to the appropriate board for action of possible sale of used cars without a permit or a license issued by this board.
I think those findings should be sent to the zoning board of appeals. But once again, this is a whole different matter because he has sold the property.
I agree with you. I just...
So, I mean, I'm not sure where we can go as a license commission. He sold the property, there is no license, we're not approving any license, no application's been brought before us.
Right. And we won't approve one until they come into compliance, I'm sure.
Right.
But I think we should just take recognition of the fact there may be sales going on, and there is no license to sell
Well,
used cars
I would
on
say
their
that this be
property.
brought to the proper department at City Hall, to go to the property, make sure if there is a any cars that have a for sale sign on it, that in fact that's not it. But once again, and I did go by the property myself, and Commissioner Donnelly was correct. It looks like a used car junk lot over there. There's got to be 25 cars there, and I have no idea. But that's not this commission's jurisdiction. There is no more license. We're not approving one. You don't have a license to sell cars.
Based on the notice that I had, I was under the impression, because, I apologize that I'm not familiar with everything here. I was under the impression, based on the correspondence, that the hearing was for the purpose of a determination whether a violation had occurred for the purpose of revoking or suspending the license. I was not aware that it had in fact expired, as you have indicated.
Well, your client decided that he wasn't going to appear at the last commission meeting.
I am familiar with the fact that the sale did occur, and Mr. Lopez, originally it was.
No disrespect, Counselor. You say you're not up to speed on this, so I'm going to bring you up to speed. He was brought before this commission because there was a violation that occurred with the used car license, and he was being brought before this board. In the interim, he's decided to sell the property. I guess good for him, because we probably would have pulled the license, and even though he hasn't even applied for a license for this year and hasn't paid for one. So, like I said, I'm probably just going to make a motion to place this on file, but I want Secretary Wynn to make sure that the proper department at City Hall goes by the property. If there are any cars that are up for sale over there, that be a violation and brought forward. But I will tell you, I don't know what's going on over there. And once again, I don't want to step out of this commission's boundaries, but it looks like a used car junk lot over there right now. It's awful. Commissioner Krieger?
It seems to me that if somebody wants a license, we're not going to grant it if the place looks the way you describe it, and that's the way it's looked when I've been by. So, for sale signs need to disappear, and the vehicles need to be down to 5 for purposes of granting the license. There should not be a large number of vehicles there unless we can identify that they belong to people working there, and they're only there during work hours.
Commissioner McCarthy?
Yeah, I also went by, and I agree with the rest of the commission. The place is a junkyard. It's a dump, actually. And you need to clean it up. Whoever owns the property, clean it up. Become a good neighbor up there.
Is that your new owner, right there?
Yes, that is the new
All
owner.
right, he's an employee there, isn't he?
He operates the.
Counselor, it would have been nice if you would have done your homework. No disrespect.
No, I understand. I was just called in at the last minute, so I'm just. So he is operating the repair shop. He is the owner, so he is there personally.
He's bought the property off of Mr. Koala.
Yes, that's correct.
So does he
What
own-
is the purpose? What is he going to be doing there for business?
He's got the body shop. and
Yep,
Repair shop. Sorry,
a repair shop.
repair shop, and he also. Okay. And he also operates a towing truck.
Does zoning board know that?
It,
Actually, I'm going to stop speaking. I don't want to get you into
Yeah.
too much trouble.
no, he has his cars parked there, the towing truck, but he's not using it as a lot for storage.
Can you explain to me what, and once again, this isn't even in the commission's purview, why are there so many cars there?
He says there's about 8 cars
No.
being worked on.
You know what, I'm not even going to go into this. Once again, I think we're stepping out of the commission's boundaries at this point, unless, Commissioner Howe?
We've been discussing this for at least 6 to 8 weeks. Back in December, we had sent out notice based on some complaints that we received. And by the way, just for purposes of disclosure, I have represented Bud Caulfield in the past. But we sent out notice, and we wanted to have Mr. Coelho come in and appear before us and explain what was going on, because we've all been by that place. It is a junkyard, and he did not show up at that hearing. And then suddenly, on New Year's Eve, he transfers the property to his employee, and someone there is still selling cars. So I have a question for Secretary Wynn. In the past, if there's been a business selling used cars without a proper license, is it the procedure of your office to send notice to them to cease and desist?
Not as a matter of practice. For the nature of the business and the nature of the type of license and the type of applicants, typically, it's difficult to monitor their day-to-day activity. Some of them are visible, as we know with regards to the Koala site. And there are some that, once they obtain their license, they kind of do everything underground type of operation, where it's by internet or in dealing with the business of car auction. So I leave it to up to them to file their renewal. More often than not, the majority of the current license holders will renew timely. There are the exceptions. Koala Fuel. Koala Fuel was an issue before the commission. On December 13th, we had it scheduled. He was sent notice to appear for that meeting. He was not sent at that time a renewal application, in anticipation that he would appear before the commission and then address the concerns the board had, in anticipation of him filing for his renewal. Then we had the matter at the time, because of his absence, it was advised, the commission was advised that a proper notice be given, a more suitable notice under the circumstances, return receipt request, and which was done, and it was done for the meeting this evening. Mr. Coelho, only by chance, I'm guessing, came to the office on Friday morning in anticipation that Mr. Kelso could apply for a new license. And then I was handed the notice to appear for the public hearing this evening, based on the matter of allegations of not compliance with the zoning board. So when a person doesn't file his renewal, generally, I wait and anticipate they're coming in to file. If they don't, it's pretty much left at that.
Counsel, is your client planning on filing for a license?
Yes. Because I thought that the license was still in effect, we were going to look into whether it could be transferred or whether he required his own independent one, because it's owned by Koala Fuel Inc. rather than him individually. But we'll figure out what's the best step here. I guess whether it's a renewal or whether it's a new one on his behalf.
So your client will agree to cease and desist selling all used cars until a proper license is filed and approved?
Yeah, so he understands that.
He agrees on that? Yes. Right, thank you.
Commissioner Donnelly, anything? Okay.
I think we got to stick within, as we're saying, you were saying, within
Our rules and
our
regulations.
own rules.
All right, so to summarize, there is no license at this point. The property has changed hands, and as far as I'm concerned, I'd make a motion to place it on file, matter on file, and let the zoning board do their due diligence and the other departments at City Hall and take action. From our perspective, as a licensed commission, there is no license, there is no application.
Second motion.
Seconded by Commissioner McCarthy. All in favor signify by
Actually,
saying aye.
before voting on the motion, it is a public hearing, so should
Oh, it
we-
is?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Thank you. I don't know, do we need a public hearing if it's no longer Koala Fuel Inc. anymore?
It was posted as a public hearing.
I'm just wondering, is it
Yeah.
is it mute?
If, for the purpose of the notice that was sent to Mr. Coelho,
Yeah.
it was to be a public hearing, and it was to hear any allegations that persist in regards to the violations.
So we're having
Since
a
Mr. Coelho
public-
has
we're
no
ha-
license to begin with,
We're having a public hearing on a business that no longer exists.
so there's nothing really, I mean, if you, Commissioner wants to entertain any comments from anyone present,
I mean, I'll do that. If that's fine.
but there's
I'm
nothing
having a
further
tough
the
time having a
Commission can
public
do.
hearing on a business that's no longer a business.
Nothing to deny, there's nothing to grant, so.
No, I will put it out there. If anybody would like to speak on the matter. There's a motion by my,
Oops, we
oh,
got a hand.
come right up, sir. State your name for the record.
Mr. Chairman, members of the License Commission, and the businessmen. Middlesex Village, the people who reside there take immense pride in their property. They sweep the sidewalk, they cut their lawns, and that's the way we like to see it. That neighborhood and I don't have a problem with this business selling 5 cars. We have a huge problem with the conditions that exist there. Total disarray, vehicles everywhere, junk, tires, debris, and I think we all reached out to try to send a message to Mr. Coelho. Nothing. Matter of fact, it's worse now than it ever was. So I appreciate the License Commission for taking this for discussion and coming up with a decision. And as I stated, I support businesses. The neighborhood support businesses. There's many businesses in Middlesex Village. But they all adhere to the rules and regulations set forth by this city. Thank you.
Anyone else? With that being said, there's a motion on the floor to place the matter on file. It was seconded by Commissioner McCarthy. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next on the agenda, please. You're all set?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Proceeding with number 6 on our meeting agenda, we have a hearing scheduled for allegations of misconduct discharged by Superintendent of Police Raymond Kelly Richardson against the Boomy Liquors, Inc., Pacific Liquors, doing for 421 Central Street. It's an all-alcoholic beverage package store license. Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, first thing this morning, I received a phone call from Attorney Pete Nicosia of Tingsboro, representing Boomy Liquors, and he had advised me that he had just been retained by the license holder, and because of circumstances beyond his control, he had respectfully requested that since he wished to represent the licensee, he would ask for a continuance, if possible, the next meeting on February the 14th.
Motion by Commissioner McCarthy, seconded by Commissioner Donahue, scheduled for our next meeting on February 14th. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion's go. Carries.
Commissioner, I'll proceed with number 7 on our meeting agenda is the hearing on the application by the licensee John Carlos Inc., doing business at Friends Restaurant, the all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee for premises at 350 Market Street, for change of manager record to Martha M. Resendez of Lowell.
Good evening. State your name for the record, sir.
Good evening, John Hardigan. I'm here on behalf of John Carlos, Inc. With me this evening is Martha Resendez, the applicant.
Good evening. How are you? Very good. From this board, our condolences.
Pardon me?
Our condolences from this board concerning the former owner. Nice man. He's a nice man. Tell us what's going on, Counsel.
Basically, to bring the commission up to date, I'm sure the commission's familiar with the business. They started in Lawrence Street back probably spring of 1989, operated there continuously. until they were fortunate enough to acquire the present location over at 350 Market Street. And they've been operating since there. Martha, for all practical purposes, has been the co-manager of record for the last 30 years, working side by side with her husband, John. The business itself, it truly is a restaurant. I'm sure Martha will tell you they probably generate 65-70% of their income through the food. I think she will tell you that the food actually sells the alcohol. It's a experienced clientele, meaning they work, they go to eat, and then they go home. It's not a late-hour place. The nature of the employees, most of them have actually traveled over from the Lawrence Street location. As to Martha herself, she's a Lowell resident. She's an owner. This is her full-time position. She's tip certified, and I would imagine, most important to this board, she has an exhibited history of running an operation without incident. So, I mean, personally, just to editorialize, I can't imagine a more qualified applicant before this board.
Questions, comments from the board? Move to approve by Commissioner McCarthy, seconded by Commissioner Howe. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Mr. Resendez, good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Oof. Tough. Yep, thank you.
Proceeding with our next meeting agenda item, we have on the backside of our agenda, we have number 8, the public hearing on the application by an applicant, Gold Bar LLC, Vin Q. Lee LLC manager. This would be the transfer of the all-alcoholic beverages restaurant license from the licensee known as DCGR Inc., doing business as D&G All-Star Lounge. David Cruz is manager for premises at 177 Merrimack Street.
Good evening, gentlemen. State your name for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and fellow commissioners. Attorney Michael Zame here for the Gold Bar LLC. With me is, to my left, is Vin Lee, who is one of the principals of Gold Bar LLC, and also Cam Zayavong, who's also here with us tonight. You guys are all familiar with this location. David Cruz has been there for quite some time, very, very seldom being in here. He runs a tight ship. He is going to leave the business for a little while. He's selling out his interest and transferring everything over to Gold Bar LLC, transferring the license, etc. They're going to come in and keep it very, very similar. They're going to do a little bit more of a lounge type atmosphere with for TVs, for games and sports type thing. And on weekends, they're not going to go with the Spanish music. They're going to do top 40 and have that type of entertainment. So
We gonna have any food, Counselor?
they are going to have some food, and I'll let Vin explain that to you.
That'd be fine.
Good evening. How
Good
you guys
evening.
doing?
Step right up there.
Yep. I'm planning to serve a little bit of beef jerky and French fries and all that stuff with air fries. Basically, not too much into food, just pick on foods to drinks.
Are you changing the inside at all? Is it basically gonna stay the same? Are you doing it enhancing?
I'm gonna try to change it a little bit to make it a little bit upscale for lounge alike.
What type of crowd you looking for?
Just professionals just come in there, to enjoy a drinks after the work, a long day, kind of stuff.
I'll open up to the floor. Questions from any other commissioners? Commissioner
What
Donnelly?
hours are you going to be open?
I'm trying to open from noon to 2 a.m. I'm just gonna give it a trial, see how everything goes first.
Because the establishment that's there now was not open regularly, was it?
And no, the establishment, I believe, was open on Friday and Saturday only.
Friday and Saturday. You're going
Yes,
to
it
be
was
open
mainly
more
just
days?
It was mainly as a nightclub, so now I'm looking forward to have a lounge there, sports bar lounge, so anybody can come by and watch the games and have a drinks after work, stuff like that. Thank you.
Commissioner Howell?
I noticed in your application, your background, you're a sole proprietor of several LLCs.
Yes.
Time Ventures LLC, what type of business was that?
That was my watch business. I purchased Rolex, AP, Patek watches from like Florida, and then I sell to whoever is looking for it. I have a website for it.
And do you still plan on carrying that business on?
No, I'm not.
So will this be your full-time?
Yes, the bar is going to be my full time.
And will you be TIPS certified?
Yes, I'm eTips First certified, Crowd Control certified, and ServSafe certified.
Thank you.
Any other questions before we go to public hearing? Before we do that, Mr. Cruz, nice job. You did a good job. When there was any times that we did have any trouble, everything was rectified, and just wanted to give you kudos for that.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, we're going to open up the public hearing. Anybody like to speak in favor? In favor? In favor? Hearing no one, that portion of the public hearing is closed. Anybody like to speak in opposition? In opposition? In opposition? Hearing no one, that portion of the public hearing is closed. What is the wish of the body?
Move approval.
Move approved by Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner Howe. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Lee, want to wish you the best of luck over there, and hope you do well. Thank you, Councilor Zane.
Proceeding with number 9 on the meeting agenda, we have a public hearing on the application by Roshani Enterprises, Inc. Vindo Chandra Zaveri is the president for a transfer of the malt beverage and wines package store license from Chelmsford Street Quick Mart, Inc. Simon Elzeni is the manager for premises at 299 Chelmsford Street.
Gentlemen, state your name for the record.
Again, Attorney Michael Zame here for Roshani Enterprises, Inc. And with me is Vino Chandra Zavari and Hitan Patel. Mr. Zavari and Mr. Patel.
Vinod Chandra Javeri.
How are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
Very good. So, are we just looking for a transfer, Counselor?
Correct. We're just looking for a transfer, and I was a little remiss earlier, and I just wanted to say that both the last transaction and this transaction started some time ago. We had to work through all of the different the change in the applications and the procedures and stuff like that with respect to the transfers. And I just wanted to thank Mr. Nguyen for all his help in making sure that we had everything the way it needed to be. So I appreciate his assistance on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Severi, you're going to be 100% owner.
Yes,
Councilor Zane, who's the other gentleman?
This is Hitan Patel.
He's the manager.
He's the manager of record.
Of record, okay. All right, I got it now. All right. What is your background, Mr. Severi, in this? Have you been in the alcohol business?
Yes, I have a 1 1/4% partnership. It's on East Bridgewater.
Okay.
Then that's the only one. Then other than that, I have a...
How long are you in business over there, East Bridgewater?
That for 3 years.
Yep. Any problems over there?
No.
No? Okay.
That's still in business.
That's still, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Questions, comments from the board? Commissioner Howe.
I have a question regarding the manager, Mr. Patel.
Yes.
I note his background is in technician, senior assembler. Does he have any experience in managing a bar?
No.
Do you plan on becoming tip certified?
This is actually just for a package store, isn't it?
Oh, package store.
This
Okay.
is the Chelmsford Street. They have beer and wine, a beer and wine license on Chelmsford Street.
Understood.
So,
Withdraw the question. Thank you.
Thank you.
But if I may just offer a suggestion, with respect to retail sale package stores, licensees, managers, they should have there is a certification for package store managers, much like a TIPS for the
That's what I
care to be
meant.
taken on, making sure no one under the age of 21.
he will be signed up for that.
Perfect, perfect.
Anybody else? No?
Move for approval by Commissioner. Whoa. Oh, thank you. Second time. All right. At this time,
Mr. Chairman, did you want to entertain any comments from the public?
I'm doing that for public hearing. I'm going to open up the public
Oh,
hearing.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Okay,
yep.
thank you.
At this time, we'll open up the public hearing. Anybody like to speak in favor? In favor? In favor? Hearing no one, that portion of the public hearing is closed. Anybody like to speak in opposition? In opposition? In opposition? Hearing no one, that portion of the public hearing is closed. What is the wish of the body? Move approved by Commissioner McCarthy, seconded by Commissioner Kariga. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, the motion carries. Thank you, Counsel.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mrs. Severi. All right.
Mr. Chairman, just for the record, number 10 on the meeting agenda, there had been a public hearing scheduled for application by Stage Bar LLC. It was an application for an original license for all alcoholic beverages restaurant for premises at 179 Central Street. But it was my understanding, and Attorney Michael Zame, who just left the council chamber, informed the License Commission office that he didn't explain why, but he stated that the application was withdrawn. Apparently, his client had no reason to continue with the pursuit of for a license at this time.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring that to your attention, members of the commission, for the fact that there was a legal notice published in the local newspaper for this public hearing this evening. Proceeding with our next item, we have number 11. Application by applicant known as Express, EXPRESS, Rent-A-Car, Inc., Donnelly, Coffin, President, for second-hand motor vehicles license Class 2 for premises at 1625 Middlesex Street, an open lot of 7,700 square feet for approximately 35 vehicles, an office area approximately 400 square feet. This particular license location had been licensed in 2018 to an entity known as DCR Enterprises, Inc. Did not wish to renew that license for 2019. Also, on site, there is a Class 2 licensee for 2019 known as Metro West Automotive Resources, Inc., Daniel W. Flynn, President, doing business as Auto Credit Superstore, also at 1625 Middlesex Street. It's an open lot of approximately 40,000 square feet. An office, 836 square feet, and an auto rehab center, approximately 493 square feet.
Good evening. State your name for the record.
Good evening.
What's your name?
Donald Coffin.
Hi, Donald. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay. Ryan, just clarify to me again, there's also another license aside of what Mr. Coffin is going to plan on doing?
So the original idea actually started with Mr. Coffin several years ago, I believe,
Right.
under a separate entity, a different entity at the time.
Okay.
And apparently there was some understanding with the property owner, Murphy, Robert Murphy,
Yeah.
that there would be suitable, it was at one time a sale of new motor vehicles on location, as well as a Class 1 license for used car agent for Robert Murphy. Subsequent to that business closing, Daniel Flynn had applied for the Class 2 license for Metro West Automotive Resources, Inc., I'd say about 5-10 years ago. I should have checked on that, but at some point in the operation of the location, there must have been an understanding and agreement for the fact that Mr. Coffin had interest in a rent-a-car business, and in conducting that type of business activity, there would be vehicles that would need to be, that he may acquire as under the entity for the rental.
Okay.
Who would need to use the Class 2 license to enter the car auction to sell.
Yeah, makes sense. I get it now. All right.
He had reason for leaving the premises, and subsequent to Mr. Coffin originally having left, DCR Enterprises, Inc. came in, obtains the license for the said location. Now, it's deja vu all over again.
Yeah, okay, I got it, yeah.
Well, we had owned the location approximately 2004 to 2014.
Yep.
We sold the location in October 2014 to DCR Enterprises. So at that time, we had a used car license there, and then it was transferred to them when they purchased the property from us. So DCR Enterprises approached us the end of August, September, and they no longer wanted to run an operation business there and asked us if we wanted to purchase the business back, which we did on October 1st of 2018.
Full circle, huh? Jesus.
So we're back, and I mean, we have held a used car license there previously for approximately 10 plus years with no issues.
35 vehicles, right?
We don't even, it's just primarily for the purpose of the rental cars.
Oh, the rentals,
like,
yeah, got it.
Mr. Wynn had said, you know, to enter the auctions, and then when the rental cars, we usually, you know, keep them for approximately a year and a half to 2 years, and then we have to sell them off also, so we have to go to the auction and do that.
Got it. Questions from the board? Commissioner Donahue.
Just, the business is ongoing as of today, right?
Express Rent-A-Car, yes. Yeah, we occupied the location since October 1st.
Since October,
Yep.
okay. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Wish of the body? Move approved by Commissioner McCarthy, seconded by Commissioner Donahue. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right, have a good night.
You as well. Yeah.
Proceeding with last night meeting agenda item, we have the application filed on behalf of 255 Club, Inc., Sean Gannon, President, for the transfer of the all-alcoholic beverages club license from the licensee, the Gaelic American Club, Inc., Catherine Brady, President, for premises at 255-265 Chelmsford Street. Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, this would require a public hearing, legal notice to be published. For your ratification, if you would be so kind to approve the publication of the legal notice in the Lowell Sun newspaper for Friday, February 1st, 2019, for a hearing to be held on Thursday, February 14th at 6 p.m.
Motion by Commissioner Donahue, seconded by Commissioner Howe to schedule a public hearing on February 14th. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Move for adjournment by Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner McCarthy. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Everyone have a great evening.